As recently as a couple of years ago, we only did a few saltwater episodes of our show each season. If you'll notice, the last 2 years, I've become hooked on the sport, and we have gotten to travel to some beautiful places, catch some incredible fish, many of them for my first time, and have a fantastic amount of fun. All that continues in the next half hour. We're going to a beautiful spot. It's been about 20 years since I've been to, and it's every bit as good as I remember it. You get to come along. Join us. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southeast region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
Hey everybody, I'm so happy to have you along for the next half hour because we are taking you to a very special inshore saltwater fishing spot that is really one of the best spots for redfish and speckled trout across the entire southeastern United States. This area is a big marsh, a big system, complex system of bayous and canals and lakes known as the Hopedale area. We're going to go fishing with Captain Charlie Thomason, who owns Bayou Charters right here in Hopedale. We're going to try to catch some speckled trout. The speckled trout fishery here is spectacular. We're going to give you just a little bit of a taste of what that looks like, how you can come catch some, and maybe get a few great tips from an expert angler for these speckled trout. While we're doing that, we're taking you around the region for your very latest fishing reports from our expert team of insider reporters. As you can see, we have the Mako 21 LTS saltwater skiff already launched, the Mercury 4-stroke 150 ready to roll out that cut out into the marsh. So let's get things rolling and let's get it started back at the FSN studios with your weekend planner.
Hello everybody, the Salooner tables are projecting fair game fish activity over the weekend. Look for peak daytime action to begin at 5 p.m. on Saturday and 5:51 p.m. on Sunday. Expect the sun to rise at 7:33 and set at 6:52. And night skies will feature a crescent moon that is 20% illuminated. We're coming right back with all the latest freshwater and coastal fishing information from around the area. Plus, current Bassmaster angler Dean Rojas joins us to answer this week's Ask the Pro question about barometric pressure. Stay with us.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than just a boat, it's a tracker. By Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. By Mercury Marine, official outboard of Fox Sports Outdoors. And by Lowrance Electronics. Find, navigate, dominate.
Got him? Yep. He blew up on that top water right here in the morning. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, nice try.
I got him. I got him.
Yeah, well, you lassoed him.
There we go. There's a start for you right there. It's early, and the first thing that's happened is we got trout on the line. There's a topwater for you right there. That one blew up on a topwater. So we've started off here early in the morning, fishing topwaters on an underwater reef. There's just a good, solid keeper trout right there. What do they got to be, Charlie, to be kept?
Well, they got to be, here in Louisiana, they got to be 12 inches. You can keep 25 of them. That one's probably about, I don't know, 15 inches.
Yeah.
You know, good size. You know, that's usually what everybody kind of looks for. That's about an average size.
Yep. Charlie, it's early. Talk about, we've started off with topwaters early. How do you do this here in the summertime like we are right now? You start off early with topwaters because of the light level?
Yeah, it really comes down to right now, the water temperature gets really hot, so the fish are going to be extremely aggressive during the morning to hours. You know, low light conditions are going to really pull a fish up to the surface because they're feeding on the bait that's going through, which is either pogies or shrimp or mullet. They're all going to be based up on the top where the surface water temperature is at its coolest because of wind and tide movement. As the sun gets up higher, it's going to get really hot. Those fish are going to drop down, and then we would use more things like live bait, fishing Carolina rig, or going down on the bottom and just fishing a jig head.
Okay, so we just adapt to whatever the conditions dictate for us. And again, here early, it's nice this morning, and we got off to a good start right there. All right, we got a trout in the boat. Let's see what happens next. We get you fishing reports from your local area.
This portion of the show is brought to you by the state of Mississippi, where fishing fun is year-round and where the Mississippi Gulf Coast offers some of the best inshore angling and offshore adventures anywhere in the world. So start your fishing adventure in the true South, Mississippi. Well, cool weather has really turned on redfish throughout the coastal South. I was talking to Captain Kevin Olmsted over in Alabama, and he tells me he's been fishing the marsh areas around some of the bays along the coast there, working sheltered water, trying to stay out of this fall wind that we're having. He's finding bait schools still, but they're kind of moving out of the inshore areas. He's concentrating more on shell beds. Shell beds tend to be where the redfish are this time of year, with the bait fish moving out. He wants moving water. Sometimes there are very shallow areas around those shell bars feeding on crabs. Over in Mississippi, I was talking to Captain Sonny Schindler out of Bay St. Louis. He's catching trout, redfish, and some flounder. He's working those marsh areas too. This is a transition time for those fish, concentrating on the bait fish schools. When he can't find bait, he looks for clear water for fishing around shell bar. In Georgia, Captain Judy Helmy out of Savannah is doing very well fishing near shore reefs in 50 to 70 feet of water. She's catching Spanish mackerel, some bluefish, a few kings around those bait schools that are moving south. The bottom fishing also has been very good. Plenty of black sea bass around those reefs near shore along the coast of Georgia. And that's pretty much it for the coastal South. Get out on the water and take a youngster with you when you go.
This week's Freshwater Report is brought to you by the Jekyll Island Club Hotel. Come enjoy a historic landmark experience amid Georgia's Golden Isles. First-rate accommodations, fine dining, and recreational activity in a historic setting. www.jekyllclub.com. Now, fall weather is evident all across the Deep South right now, and the angling is getting good for virtually any species you target. This is especially true on the reservoirs along the Middle Chattahoochee River on Georgia's western border. From West Point Lake through Bartlett's Ferry to Goat Rock and on down to Lake Oliver at Columbus, the action is good right now. Largemouth and spotted bass are present in all these impoundments, and they're feeding up for the winter. You want to target boat docks and down trees or rocky points in deep water for the best action. Plastic worms or lizards fished on Carolina or Texas rigs are the most consistent baits to use on these lakes. But bass are not all that's biting. Stripers, crappie, catfish, and brim are all fishing well right now. Over in Alabama, there's an early topwater bite for spotted bass each morning on Neely Henry Lake. Look for these fish around the wood and rock structure at the mouth of feeder creeks. The fall crappie action is really hot right now in Mississippi. The best places to be targeting these fish are Wolf Lake near Yazoo City, Ross Barnett Reservoir near Jackson, or Lake Lincoln State Park in the southwest corner of the state.
Oh, there he is on top water. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Nice one.
What you got?
I think it's a big old redfish. You know, out here, Barry, what happens is along these reefs and stuff, these fish, you know, you get redfish, speckled trout, even flounder will come up on these reefs, and what they do is they're just looking for anything to eat. And topwaters, subsurface are some of the hottest baits to use, especially this time of year.
So even when you're trout fishing, you're likely to catch a red, a black drum, a flounder.
You know, and that's the greatest thing around this area in Hopedale is that we have all species of fish and they all bite. So it's really neat to be able to come out. You may come out and catch trout one day, come out the next day, and a redfish are feeding really good. It just happens that way. Look at that. And that mirror lure just getting right up inside of them.
Big old red, look at this.
The really cool thing about this is that, you know, if anglers want to come out and do topwater fishing, it's a great place to do topwater. If you want to come out and do, you know, whatever, jig fishing, whatever it is. Awesome
wow,
fish.
Look at that beautiful fish. What a beast right there.
And the cool thing is, Barry, is that you get to catch it on the topwater.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I mean, that thing comes up, boom, I mean, they blow it out of the water. Look at that thing. That is just awesome.
Wow. Okay. Well, so if you want to do some topwater fishing, this would be the place to do it right here. What would be the prime months if people want to book you and come and actually get to experience these fish coming up and just blowing up on a topwater?
I would say that if they want to come up on topwater, they're going to come anywhere from tax day, April 15th, through Christmas.
Oh man, it's a long season.
Well, we'll catch them like that all year like that. Now, if you really want the bull reds, like this fish here is about 15 pounds. If you want one like 30 to 40 pounds, then you want to come in the summer months between June and like beginning of October.
Wow, okay. Well, we'll let this fish go back.
Yeah.
We're doing a trout show today and we're fishing for trout, but that's just your little bonus. Get you a big old fat redfish like that. All right, let's get you some more fishing and lake reports for where you live.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's report from the Tennessee and Kentucky region. You know, it's typical Tennessee and Kentucky weather right now. Last week I was telling you how it was full-blown fall, it was cold, rainy. I filmed my report wearing my Stormer rain suit. This week it's 80 degrees. And what that does, not only does it kind of mess us up, it kind of messes the fishing up a little bit. I'm not saying it makes it bad, it just, you have to really change your technique from day to day depending on the weather. The bass are still primarily gearing up for fall, and with that is primarily a topwater bite. The shallow vegetation, shallow cover that is adjacent to where they were in the summer in that deep water is still going to be your best area. So look for birds, look for bait fish, and stay relatively close at this point to deep water. They're going to get shallower and deep water is not going to be as big of a factor, but we're not there yet. Crappie fishing is also good. The same kind of things. Docks, brush piles, stake beds, treetops, whatever that's shallow but near deep water. And guys, it's getting better. You know, we're going to have some peaks and valleys until the weather really stabilizes into fall. But the weather's beautiful, the fishing's pretty good. We'd love to see you on the water in Tennessee and Kentucky. God bless.
Got him?
Yeah, that one hit a popping cork and a shrimp, the old classic.
Oh, it's a nice one. Very nice trout.
Just a average keeper trout right here. You can net him for me?
Yeah,
all right.
Beautiful.
Get him in the net, there we go.
Awesome.
That'll work. Want to get you some information, get you set up right here. Just the average size trout right there. If we were keeping trout, we would already have a good start on this. Charlie, describe just the terrain in the area.
It's truly like a delta if you think about it. This used to be the old delta of the Mississippi River. And what we're doing is we're just fishing these areas because of the oyster reefs. Those oysters create habitat, clean water, they filter the water all the time. So we always have clean water here, we always have salty water here, and we always have fish.
Well, you've been looking at a map, a chart of what some of this looks like from an aerial view. And then behind that, you can see just these seagrass islands all through here, almost as far as you can go. And then I want to show you a couple of quick shots of these oyster reefs that he's talking about. They make little points and little underwater ridges, and those are the contours, the places where these trout and the redfish and several other species tend to just migrate up onto these spots. It is a fertile area.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. By Lew's, setting a new standard of fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. And by Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability.
Bobber down, fish on. Yep. All right, we switched over to popping cork, classic trout fishing method, using live shrimp under a popping cork.
Nice one.
Been the go-to approach for many, many years. Had a good morning fishing so far. A little bit of everything out here working, and there's a nice speckled trout for you right there. That's a good keeper-sized fish. Every place you see looks like a fish. So what are the spots that you really key on to actually try to catch a trout or a good redfish?
Majority of the people that come to our area, they always think that they need to fish the leeward side of the banks. But in all honesty, you want to fish windy banks. And I always like to try to find places where the wind is hitting like points or coves, where the current is running along that bank. Just like this spot. We have a scenario, our tide's coming in, it's running along this bank, coming around this point and going around, and we're fishing the windy side and just throwing right on that point. And what it is, there's oysters underneath there, those fish are just sitting there waiting for anything to come by. They hear the sound of the Versamax cork, boom, they come in.
All right, well, we've got something working here, a little current, a little wind. with you Speckled Trout right here with Captain Charlie. Let's get you some more fishing and lake reports from where you live.
Hey folks, Captain E here with your Carolinas report. This week brought to you by Marshall's Marine, located in Lake City and Georgetown, South Carolina. We're your bass boat leader since 1969, and for all your nitro and bass tracker needs, visit www.marshallsmarine.com. It's obvious what's going on along the coast right now. After the hurricane and that incredible low pressure, we've had a lot of water come in. Fresh water mixing in from Georgetown, Little River, Wilmington, all of that pushing this water into the ocean. We're on a nearshore reef right now. We're hooked up to another fish, but the fish are out here. We found some great bait. We got out about 10 to 12 miles, found some clear water. Also the inshore, off the beaches, the red drum bite continues to be great. Get out with some small cut mullet or menhaden. Find those areas where those fish are gonna be concentrated on those hard bottoms. You can get in there and catch some wonderful redfish this time of the year. Also back in the near shore, with these cycles now have washed all that crazy water out of the creeks and out of the inlets, those trout are gonna start biting again. They're in there, it's that time of the year. Topwater bite again, early in the mornings is perfect right now, and getting out there late in the afternoon. But don't forget about throwing a popping cork with a voodoo shrimp along the grass in those normal areas where you find the trout. This has been your Carolinas report, brought to you by Marshall's Marine. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
Bobber down. He got it. Okay.
Got him?
I got him. That's something.
Keep them coming.
Kind of fighting a little funny. I don't know what it is.
Let's see. Nice flounder.
Flounder. How about that? There's a bonus.
Well, it just had me a little bite.
Wow. Everything swims in here. All right, let's go to a quick break right here. I want to give you all the information that you need if you want to book a trip here with Captain Charlie Thomason. He's got several guys that work for him. He's got a great lodge facility, the Silverside Lodges, and perfectly situated close to where you're going to go out of, fairly close to where you're going to fish. Everything all in one location. Just a beautiful spot here. And there's all the information on your screen if you'd like to book a trip here.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Motor Guide Trolling Motors. Introducing the XI5 for ultimate boat control. And by Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro feature, where viewers get insider tips from top anglers. This week's question is from Alan, who asks, does barometric pressure really affect fishing? For the answer, we checked with Bassmaster Elite Angler Dean Rojas.
For me, you always want to be fishing, if you're just fun fishing, to go out on a day that you have a front coming in, or you're going to have some weather, or the barometric pressure is dropping. It triggers them to be feeding, triggers them to be active, and it can be all species of fish. It doesn't necessarily have to be bass. It just gets everything moving in preparation, feeding-wise, of the storm coming in. So and on the backside of it, once the storm passes, you've had they've moved around, they've eaten. Now it's just a time just to sit and relax, and that's usually when the high pressure system comes in right behind it, where you have very little wind, high skies, bright skies, no clouds, everything's still, and it's very difficult, to get them to bite at certain times because they don't want to travel very far. When the low pressure is there, they'll run 10, 15, 20 feet to go grab something. High pressure, they may only move a foot or two, if that. They become very lethargic.
Thank you, Dean. If you need help from one of the pros, visit foxsportsoutdoors.com and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit a question. Now let's see who wins a new pair of shades on the Costa Catch of the Week.
We are back at the boat ramp, and we do have a winner in this week's Costa Catch of the Week contest. She is Kimberly Davis of Hinesville, Georgia, showing off a giant 42-inch redfish she caught off Jekyll Island, Georgia, fishing in the surf at night. How about them apples? If you'd like to enter the contest and have a chance to win your own free pair of Costa sunglasses, all you have to do is go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com, click on the Costa Catch of the Week box, and you might be our next winner. And if you'd like to see all of the Costa products, just go to their website by clicking back to foxsportsoutdoors.com, clicking on the Costa logo in the middle of the page. There you can see all of their great frame and lens styles, including the beautiful blue and white frame style that I was wearing on this week's episode. It's called Cortez. Next up on the Academy Right Stuff, it's the right gear if you'd like to come down here to Hopedale and catch some great speckled trout and redfish like you saw on this week's show. Early in the morning, it begins with the top water bait. All kinds will work, something that will walk side to side and float on top, make quite a bit of racket on top, works really well. Then as far as the popping cork rig that we caught a lot of the trout on with the shrimp, it begins with the VersaMax popping cork. You can see it there. It does a great job of sitting in one spot and making a lot of racket. Then below that, we've got simply a small split shot, about an 1/8 to a 1/4 ounce, works just fine. We've got some heavy 30-pound test leader and a number 2 Kale hook. Now, as far as my rod and reel setup, I really love this rod. It's my first chance to really give it a good workout, but this is a spinning rod. It's the Lew's Custom Speed Stick series. You can tell it by the white in front and behind the handle. This is the inshore medium fast action rod. It does a great job. It's the perfect setup for catching these speckled trout. This past summer, I was at the International Fishing Tackle Convention in Orlando, Florida, and I saw something really cool. There was a huge display sponsored by Costa. It was a giant 9-foot tall marlin built entirely out of plastic trash washed up on one beach. The folks at Costa are trying to educate the public about how harmful plastic products are when they make it into our oceans. Humans throw away 200 billion plastic bottles per year, 35 billion in the US alone. It can last for up to 1,000 years, and plastic kills 1 million seabirds every year. And over 2/3 of our fish now test positive for plastics. Here are a few things that you and I can do to help make this problem better. First of all, recycle all your old fishing line and plastic lures. Secondly, secure any used plastic bottles in your boat inside that boat and make sure that they don't blow out. Thirdly, use reusable cups and metal bottles whenever you can, and reduce your overall use of plastic, especially those dreaded single-use plastic bags. Those are especially devastating in our waters. For lots more information, go to costadelmar.com/kick plastic, and let's get this plastic out of our waters. Hey, one more time, I'd like to give you all the information you need. If you want to book your own dream fishing trip right here to the Mecca of Hopedale, Louisiana, you can get in touch with these folks. Great place to stay, good food in the area, everything you need just a little bit southeast of New Orleans, Louisiana. Contact them at the information on your screen. Hey, don't forget, we'll be back on the air next Thursday in our usual time slot at 6 p.m. with the repeat airing Sunday morning at 8:30. You can always watch the latest episode of our show 24/7 right on the front page of our website. Right below that, you can click on the archives and get all of our past episodes, how-to videos, product videos. You can catch up on lots of cool stuff in that space right there. And don't forget to follow us on our Twitter feed. We give away lots of free gear there, and you'll get the latest fishing news, information, videos, and photos. And also on our Facebook page, be sure and click the like button to get the latest news. From Hopedale, Louisiana, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.